Something happened in college, and I know what you think I'm going to say, which is I grew or I became analytical, but it's not that. I became a crier. It's true. I didn't used to cry at things in high school, only really about things that happened to me. But then I saw the craziest sunset over Balch Auditorium. And I watched my friend perform in her a cappella group, and I listened to post-grad plans ranging from getting a PhD to intentionally getting lost. And I watched my friend present her thesis, and I couldn't help myself. I think I became a crier here because such moving things have happened here. I think going to Scripps is hard, for a lot of reasons. I was once told that Scripps used to produce women who went on to become expensive wives who managed philanthropies. Entrenched in that idea, of course, is whiteness and wealth and heterosexuality. Those core tenets are still a part of our school and still a part of the way the world views us. It's troubling, to say the least, that our career center is at the middle of Seal Court, where SCORE and the OSC are tucked away. And it's infuriating every time someone calls us the girls' school. It erases the presence of our incredible trans and non-binary students, and it ignores the academic rigor of our college. And that part of going to a historically women's college is especially hard here in the middle of other co-ed colleges. We are reminded of that perception constantly, but it comes from within too. It sucks that if any of us were to go on a tour of Scripps just 2 years ago, we saw the pool and not an academic building because we were selling ourselves as a resort and not as an academic institution. And that's what the history of Scripps has been for so long. Even looking around at our ever Instagrammable campus, this was constructed on the ideas that women needed a beautiful space to learn. And it's enraging because we are told over and over again that we are weaker and gentler and lesser. I firmly believe that every graduate here today has been made to feel lesser for going to this school or even for who they are. And let me make one thing clear. That perception is not about this college. Our fellow consortium members love to remind us about our admissions rate or how big their endowments are. But it's not about those rankings, which I might add are inherently sexist and racist. It's about the type of student who chooses this space. It's about the person in your Writing 50 class who points out a symbol in a short story not even your professor noticed. It's about the RAs and the tour guides striking for crucial access to mental health resources and respect for our marginalized students. Even in writing this speech, I received feedback from students of color, trans, and gender nonconforming students who corrected my terminology and my ideas, who continue to work to be seen and be heard even on their graduation day. I am deeply grateful for those students. The students who not only don't ask for permission, they don't want it. The students who work here and demand to be seen and be heard, and those are the people that every oppressive system wants to feel small. It's not about the school. It's about the people who go to this school. It's about us. I am a transfer student. I transferred schools because I wanted a space filled with students who would challenge me to be better every day, and I got a little more than I bargained for. When I came to Scripps. I did not expect just how difficult it would be being around amazing people all of the time. I think all of us can think of a dear friend who is better than us at everything. From eyeliner to essays to perseverance, they are sitting here in the audience. And at first that was really unchill. My immediate reaction was to be jealous or catty or mean, which of course just made me more unhappy and a worse person. And of course at Scripps, everyone is like that. And there's so many human beings around you who are so amazing. Your only option is to learn from them. There is no other option. Otherwise, you will be sad all of the time and anytime you meet someone new. And you have to learn to love learning from them. So being around the people who applied to and chose Scripps, students who chose this college's difficult combination of identities, you are forced into a population of students who are outspoken and passionate and smart and interesting. And they blow you away. You see conversations leave the classroom led by marginalized students who, to quote a comment I got on this speech, are constantly harmed by this institution, yet improve it year after year. Like the speaker series hosted by the Disability, Illness, and Difference Alliance, you see it in the actions our peers have taken, from starting the Scripps Scraps resale program and pushing for a carbon commitment to rallying to end Scripps' complicity in the prison industrial complex. The students here are making changes to this institution. You see students create changes to the drinking policies and find ways to make every club and activity accessible and open to all, including the literal accessibility of the dorms. You see it in Watu not only changing their name to include all gender identities, but also in standing against racist transphobia on these campuses. You see it in Café Con Leche and the Asian American Student Union hosting event after event, creating communities and taking up space on this campus. You see it in the outdoor clubs taking away the costs of going outside. You go to the Motley and you get coffee and funding for anything that furthers the mission of intersectional feminism. You even see students emptying the compost bins in the kitchen. These are changes for the better. What you have done here, from calling out the subtle racism of your friend, to instituting institutional change, to even existing here as a person of color, as queer, as disabled, as first gen, what you have done here is amazing. So if our peers and our friends are as incredible as we know they are, how could all of this shame that is put on us as students of a historically women's college, how could it stick? You look at your best friends and they're kind and smart and funny and so weird and perfect, and how dare anyone try to make them feel lesser? And I think that's what makes going here so difficult. Because you can't just accept what the rest of the world says or believes about you, because you have so much evidence to the contrary. You can't accept other people or institutions or systems trying to make you feel small, because your peers at Scripps have encouraged you to confidently take up space in this world, and there's no way you could squish yourself back down to being small and being lesser. Our existence and our joy about our own and our friends' existence is flipping off every hegemonic system that tells us to be small. The first thing you learn at Scripps is to not even bother trying to compete with your peers, because you just won't be able to. And so you embrace that lack of competition and start to learn from and collaborate with your peers. And maybe more importantly, you turn inward and you find your own value in order to actually appreciate the people around you. And when that happens, something changes. You stop seeing outside judgments and you only see what is about Scripps and your peers and your friends and yourself. So the Scripps marketing department will have you believe that we are a resort. Quite a few 5C alums think we are about to get our MRS degrees, and the other schools will tell you that we are the girls' school. And again, it's not about this school. It's about people like us. They want us to feel small. But within each other, we just find joy and inspiration and awe and passion. This school and this experience is just a microcosm of the rest of our lives. Whatever any of our identities are, people will have us believe that we are lesser. But in these formative years at Scripps, we've had quite a bit of practice pushing back and rejecting that conclusion. To exist in joy and in awe of one another is a rebellion. Think of your friends. Think of your friends and think of yourself and look at where you are. And you know you don't need me to tell you that you are amazing. Truly, truly incredible folks who have endured and thrived here. And if you can do it at Scripps, you can do it anywhere. No part of attending this institution makes it easy, except dining maintenance and grounds. So I've been crying, as I mentioned, every moment that my friends have blown me away. A dear friend of mine, Natalie Lilly, once said, "You can be strong and gentle at the same time." And that's what you learn at Scripps. I think that's why I've become a crier. It's a show of vulnerability and pride at my friend's strength, which I could only express so genuinely if I believed I am as strong as they are. At this school, you learn to be strong and smart and complicated, and you learn to find elation in your peers and in their success. Being gentle with ourselves and the people we love in the face of oppression is an incredible display of strength. You become gentle and strong. I am fiercely proud that I went to Scripps, and fiercely proud that I walk amongst all of you today. Our peers and our professors and the way we have had to push back against and defend this institution has given us, I think, the ability to think clearly and independently about ourselves and about the world around us, and the ability to live shoving back against every system that says we or anyone else is lesser, confidently, courageously, hopefully, and I would add, strongly, gently, and joyously. Thank you.